Namaste and welcome to Awaken Living with Nibodhi. With the holiday seasons right around the corner, I wanted to discuss how we can stay regulated and rooted and real during the holiday seasons. One of the hardest challenges is visiting family. It's said on the spiritual path, you want to find out how far you've come along, go visit your family. The holiday seasons are a perfect test to see where we're at and where we're not. But that's not the point. The point is to explore how we can stay regulated, how we can stay sovereign, and how we can stay aligned through the holiday seasons. The holiday seasons are beautiful and often very dysregulating, especially if we're traveling, we're not sleeping in our own bed, people's schedules are all over the place, the meal times may not be the time we like to eat. And so for the body, mind, and our subtle nervous system, we need to find ways to regulate, or at least attempt to regulate. And if we can bring an Ayurvedic or Vedic psychology approach to family, to food, to our boundaries, to our rhythms, in a way that is healing and honoring of our nervous system, we can do a much better job at regulation. The ancient Vedic sages, they didn't celebrate Thanksgiving or Hanukkah or Christmas. They did understand family. They understood celebration. Every day was a celebration, really. And they also understood the cycles of time and family karmas and our own karmas and the seasonal balances and imbalances. But one of the things that they did really exemplify or talk about in a major way was that the holidays are moments of intensified karmic interactions. We look at these different things that surface unconsciously through the Vedic lens of kala, timing, ritu, season, and karma, action. They converge together. And when this happens, these old samskaras, these old patterns, our unprocessed emotions, our childhood wounds or traumas, they can really come to the surface. It's really important to understand that the holidays are not so much about performance. It's about presence. And for the most part, they're spiritual boot camps disguised as family dinners. But the most important thing here is really staying present with ourselves and allowing ourselves the permission to have a regulated nervous system and to have sovereignty within those family dynamics. I want to look at that from both the Vedic psychology lens and a polyvagal lens. Because again, when we visit the families, these old vasanas, these habitual patterns come to surface. And what the yogis determine are the two of the dualities of life, raga and vesha, likes and dislikes. And our preferences come up and our belief systems come up. And there's so much fighting over what we like and don't like. We like this news channel, we don't like that news channel, we like that politician, we don't like that politician. That's not what family is for. Family is to celebrate love and to celebrate unity, not to create division. But often that's what happens. And that just regulates our vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve regulates prana. And prana regulates the vagus nerve. And that affects our digestion, our neurocognition. It affects every part of life. So the Vedas do give techniques to keep this regulation. One of them, and it's my personal favorite, is to breathe, is to do pranayama, gentle breathing, doing alternate nostril breathing, do deep belly breathing. When I'm in a difficult conversation and I understand there's not room for my viewpoint, or it's not a discussion, I'm being talked to, I put my tongue on the roof of my mouth, because that creates a circuit of energy within the body that my energy stays contained within myself. And then I do deep belly breathing. When I'm alone in my room or go outside, I do some alternate nostril breathing. Another really fantastic technique, equally my favorite, all my favorite. Ayurveda is my favorite, but doing mantra, because mantra is manastratika, to bring the mind into one pointed focused awareness. So doing mantras like Shivoham, I am Shiva, or Aham Brahmasmi, I am the self, or Om Namah Shivaya, I am part of that supreme consciousness. Just really doing that silently within inside of ourselves. And if you don't like it in Sanskrit, I am love, I am the self, I am whole, I am loved, I am loved, I am love, I am loving. Whatever the mantra is, internally repeat that. especially in a conversation that's difficult, and especially before responding to that difficult conversation. Take a few deep breaths and repeat a mantra to yourself and really focus in. And if you have a day filled with family events, do a 5-minute breath practice before you come out of your room and go see your family. If you have the ability to, do a grounding oil massage and take pauses throughout the day in nature. If you need to, say you need to go to the bathroom, and go to the bathroom and do some deep breathing. Whatever you need to do, either do co-regulation or do some conscious distancing, take space as you need them. If you're with safe people and your viewpoint is allowed to be heard, then allow shared presence, allow that to happen and really expand on that communion with the family. But otherwise, take space if you need to. And if you can't physically take space, do imaginary boundary space. Imagine your body being surrounded with this golden light cocoon, or softly say inside of you to yourself, to your inner child, I hear you, I'm with you, I love you, without, really, disassociating from the situation. Remember, we always need to remember this. We're not here to fix our family. We're not here to change them. We're here to be the field that remembers the self. That's our goal in life. That's why we're having this discussion, because we want to be whole. We want to be awakened in this lifetime. So we're not here to change anyone or do anything to anyone, make anyone see our way. We just need to regulate ourselves. And really, as much as possible, do create a daily routine. The dinacharya is the container for the sovereignty. Without rhythm, the doshas do go haywire, especially vata. So, if you can create essential daily anchors, even when traveling, wake up with the sun or as close to it as possible. Start the day with some warm lemon water or CCF tea, cumin, coriander, fennel tea, or ginger tea. If you can, do 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement, tai chi, qigong, do some sun salutations. Do a little meditation or breath work before you check your phones, before you engage with anyone. And encourage the family to keep regular meal times, to not be so up and down. Meals at this time, this day, it's a different time the next day. Try and keep it at regular times. And encourage them also that everyone's going to feel better the next day. A little bit gentle education. If we eat a light and early dinner, let's make lunch the main meal and have a light early dinner before 7 p.m. That's really a gentle way of encouraging them to be in balance as well. And you don't, even if that's not possible, if you're going out late at night to eat, have something very light. Have some soup or something. You don't have to do that, especially if your family is paying for you. I'm sure they're happy to save the money. So eat something light if you have to. But remember, the rituals, the daily practices, these dinacharyas, they're not rigid. They're not, you have to do this. They're just reminders how we can stay in balance, and ultimately reminders of who we are. So I want to give a few dosha-specific holiday guidelines. If you're a vata, pitta, or kapha, there's a few things that we can do to balance each of our doshas. So vata is the most easily ungrounded, especially by travel, by airplane, by overstimulation, and the most ungrounded by the lack of routine. Vatas need the routine the most. And so, as much as possible, again, do warm oil massage, ideally on a daily basis, and have warm foods, have warm grounding foods, soups, root vegetables, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, yams, squashes, beets, carrots, these types of root hearty grounding foods, and with some ghee on it, with some olive oil on it. And so oil should be inside and outside. We should have oily, warm grounding foods, and we should put warm oil on our body. For vata, sesame oil is the best. Calming herbal teas are really good. Ashwagandha, tulsi, licorice, fennel, things like this. And really, when you need to, say no, gently and firmly. Saying no to an unhealthy or unwanted situation is saying yes to you. And really, choose 1 or 2 things a day to be fully present for rather than being scattered. Show up completely present as much as you possibly can. And again, for vata, if it's possible, early to bed is an ideal scenario. Pitta constitutions are very fiery. They're triggered by control, conflict, being right, overcommitments. And Pittas need, even in the wintertime, might need a little bit of cooling. So having cooling herbs like some rose tea, some rose mint tea, some rose tulsi tea, that's also an adaptogen that helps a Pitta to stay calm. But cooling herbs are really good. And really, Pitta needs to go outside, take walks in nature. Don't overheat yourself. Don't commit to overdoing. And really delegate tasks to other people, because Pittas do want to control things. Delegate tasks to other people. Let things be good enough. Prioritize joy over perfectionism. Pittas love to be perfect. Everything has to be right, but it doesn't. Even if it's not perfect, it's still perfect. We're perfectly imperfect. So Pitta needs to relax, take time in nature, relinquish control. You don't need to have your way be right. You don't need to have everyone agree with you. And then for Kaphas are prone to lethargy, to overeating, emotional eating, feeling stagnant, or even feeling left out. So Kaphas need warming, energizing things. So great for Kapha, having ginger tea or cinnamon tea or clove tea, some spicy tea. Having light or even vigorous exercise. Express yourself through movement or dance. If that's not appropriate in the scenario, dance in your room. Go outside into nature. Put on your headphones and dance. But really make sure to try to minimize emotional buffering through your food. And if necessary, journal. Journal's a really good way to express yourself and express yourself clearly, where you're not being judged as being right or wrong. And really don't disappear. Don't go isolate yourself somewhere. Your presence is actually a gift. Even if you don't need to say much, but your presence is a gift. And set small daily social goals. You'll interact with a couple of family members. You'll try to have heart-to-hearts with them. And remember, each dosha has its strength and its shadow. It has a gift and a shadow. And the holidays really tend to magnify both of those. So let the holiday seasons be your sadhana. Let the holidays be your sacred sadhana, your seasonal sovereignty. And try and stay as calm and present as possible. I'm very excited to share with you Real Mushrooms, the sponsor of the Awakened Living podcast. I use their mushrooms every single day because they've genuinely changed my life. I trust them because they have 50 years of expertise and use 100% organic mushrooms, 0 grains, 0 fillers, which are found in most common mushroom products on the market. They use just real, organic, clinically tested mushrooms. Every morning, I use lion's mane to sharpen my thinking. I use cordyceps to give me the clean energy I need for the day. I use chaga to strengthen my immune system. And when stress hits, and it does, I use reishi to bring me back to center. With their products, you actually feel the difference. For the month of December, Real Mushrooms has offered all Awaken Living with Nibodhi podcast listeners 25% off their entire first order. So if you type in Awaken25 at checkout, you get 25% off your whole first order. You can find their link in the show notes or visit nibodhi.com/mushrooms to get yours today. So here's a holiday reflection, an integration practice. You can do this whenever you need to. Take a moment and close your eyes if you can. Try and feel the earth below you. Even through the concrete, even through the house, even if you're in an apartment building 20 floors up in New York City, feel the earth below you, grounding you. And allow the breath to be a bridge between you and the earth and the universe. And allow the breath to anchor you in your heart. Make your heart the altar. Make your heart the temple. And imagine this beautiful, warm light in that temple. And imagine what it would be like to carry that light with you everywhere this holiday season, into every space you go to. And whenever you're feeling dysregulated, just close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, ground into the earth, attune to your breath, fill and feel the light in your own heart. And you can say a holiday intention or a holiday mantra. I love myself no matter what. I choose presence over performance. I will stay present in who I am, whatever it is for you. And if you need to, connect with a friend or a guide who helps you to regulate your nervous system. And you can even have like a co-regulation pact. You can text each other positive, uplifting messages, reaffirmations, or you can call each other once a day, check in to help regulate your nervous system. But here's a holiday sovereignty sadhana. Every day, do 3 rituals, 2 phrases of boundaries, and 1 sacred self-reminder. So here's these 3 customized rituals. And I did it as per the dosha types. So for a vata predominant type, they're the sensitive traveler type who are overwhelmed by stimulation and get scattered. So 3 rituals for vata. Take 10 minutes of alternate nostril breathing every morning before engaging. Have a grounding oil with you. A sesame oil, or if you want an Ayurvedic oil, ashwagandha bala oil, and rub that on your body during the day, if possible, and definitely rub it on your feet before bed. And drink a warm, spicy almond milk with some ashwagandha, a little nutmeg, a pinch of ginger. This is calming to the nervous system. The nutmeg is so calming. The ashwagandha is adaptogen. So you have warm, spiced, herbed almond milk before gatherings. That's 3 rituals. 10 minutes of breathing, a little oil on your body, and this warm almond milk. Very simple things. I think anyone could probably do this. If this doesn't resonate with you, create your own. And then have 2 boundary phases. They don't need to, they can be spoken when necessary, or you can just remind yourself. But this is really like boundary phases we want to say to other people when necessary. I'd love to stay, but I need to honor my energy and rest now. I'd love to stay, but I need to honor my energy and rest now. If your mother said that to you, if your grandmother said that to you, you'd say, of course, no problem, and then just go. If somebody is challenging you, another boundary phase would say, let me think about that and get back to you. We don't need to respond in that moment. We don't need to have instant gratification through answers. Let me think about that and get back to you. And then the sacred self-reminder. I root into stillness before I respond to the world. I root into stillness before I respond to the world. Again, you can create your own. These are just ideas. So that's for a vata. For a pitta constitution who's high performer type and, again, are triggered by control or judgment and definitely by family dynamics, 3 rituals. Number 1, walk alone in nature. Ideally, first thing in the morning, in the evening, but just walk alone in nature a little bit each day. Even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes, that's fine. And then have a journal and really write 3 things you're grateful for. Not achievements, just 3 things you're grateful for. And use essential oils. Use either blue lotus or rose or sandalwood. You can put it, especially when we're agitated, put it on the third eye, put it on the heart, put a drop in the palms, cover your nose and breathe deeply and really get back to regulation. And then 2 of the boundary phases for a pitta could be, 1 is let's agree to disagree and just enjoy this moment. Let's agree to disagree and just enjoy this moment. And if it's a really intense scenario, you can say, I'm not available to have that conversation right now. You need to have that firm boundary. It's gentle, but it's firm. I'm not available to have that conversation right now. That's all. You're not making the person right, wrong, good, or bad. We're just not available for that. Okay. And then the sacred self-reminder. Peace is more powerful than proving. Peace is more powerful than proving. Here's another one. It's better to be happy than right. It's better to be happy than right. Then for the kapha, they're empathic. They're the connector type. They tend to be the people pleaser, and they deal with that by withdrawal or emotional eating, overeating. So 3 really good rituals for a kapha. 1, light a candle and meditate on that candle with the eyes open. Gaze at that candle and chant some mantra every morning to invoke your own inner presence. That can be an English mantra, a Sanskrit mantra. It doesn't matter. It can be a phrase. But light a candle and meditate on that candle, that inner light, the external and internal light. You can meditate on the candle, visualize, look at the candle, and then close your eyes and imagine that candle flame still in your heart or in your third eye. And then a kapha can start the day with a cup of lemon ginger tea. Actually, they can have a little bit of lemon ginger tea before each meal to awaken the digestion and focus. Not too much. You don't want to dilute the enzymes, but maybe a few ounces, 3 or 4 ounces before the meal. But starting the day with some ginger tea is wonderful. And really engage in some movement. This should be a daily ritual, 10 minutes or more dancing or some yoga or some jogging, some movement, especially before engaging in a social activity. That also will help to regulate the nervous system and bring us more into focus. And then 2 boundary phases for a kapha. One would be, I love you, but I need time for myself right now. Very simple. I love you, but I need to be by myself right now. Or if you want to be a little stronger, whatever the situation was, if it's a really difficult situation and it's not working for you, really state that. That doesn't work for me. Thank you for understanding. And if they don't understand, then you can just go take the time for yourself. And then your sacred self-reminder is my presence is a gift and I honor it by staying awake. Not awake all night long, but awake, awakened, staying in your presence. Your presence is the gift. And so you're honoring that by staying awake, staying conscious, staying mindful. So these are ways to navigate the holiday seasons, which are often very, very challenging. So this holiday season, try to remember that we are not the vasanas. We are not the patterns. We are not our past roles. We are the sacred. We are the divine. We are actively moving towards living a fully awakened life. We are the breath of consciousness expressing itself in human form. So I invite you to put these things into practice if you feel called to. And if you have friends or family members who you feel could benefit from this, who need nervous system regulation, share this with them. It's wonderful. And really walk in balance this holiday season. Walk in your truth this holiday season. Walk in aligned love of yourself this holiday season, and try and stay nourished by the work you've been doing on yourself and the consciousness that you're giving to yourself, the love, compassion, empathy you have for yourself. And that will radiate out into your family and into the gatherings as you go into these holiday seasons. So I wish you the most love and blessings this holiday season, and fill your hearts with love and consciousness and empathy, and try and express that in everything we do. I'll see you next week, and namaste.